James and Christian, who will probably be referred to very seldomly in those names. And we're going to do a little something, a little project called Couriers. It's going to be sort of a Weird West, not much of an alternate timeline, but a whole different sort of universe stuff going on. And hopefully it should be pretty fun. Things will be good. So, Christian is not here at the moment, but he's just walked in. He's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
heading
somewhere.
Indeed.
As we get started, could I get the two of you to describe your office?
Well, let's see. I feel like our office is like an added-on room to an already existing structure.
A stable.
Yeah, it's an add-on to a stable.
The stable that we rent to stable our horses, which
of
are
course.
the only possessions that we really have of any value, except for his weapons.
Of course.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of it used to be, I'm thinking like a tool shed or like a storage shed, and we turned it into an office, which basically means we put in a table and a couple of chairs, and we hung a lamp up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
And then there's a hand-printed or hand-painted sign that we hung on the door.
Labeled, of course, Trapper and Crow.
Yep, Trapper and Crow.
Trapper and Crow.
So, cutting away from your eyes just for a little bit to sort of set the scene. It's relatively late, probably around 7, but you're both still in the office seeing if anybody will come, because it's been a minute since you've got any good work. Money's pretty tight. Worried if you don't get something within the next month, you might lose the lease on the little work shed stable that you've turned into your office.
Yeah.
Then we have to slaughter the horses and eat them.
Pretty much. You do good work, but a lot of the time, especially out here, things have calmed down a lot. There's a lot more proper postal services going around these days than there used to be. So, at this hour, around 7 p.m., outside somewhere on the dusty streets of this small little town that you find yourselves with your little office in, straight in the middle, approximately equidistant from like the 3 closest reasonably sized cities, which are all about a day's ride away at the very least, we see looks to be a human woman.
Hold on.
Hooded.
I was under the impression that there aren't a lot of non-humans.
Oh, that is true. Everybody that you know is a human, as far as you can tell, I guess. But that's my fantasy and space game master muscles flexing completely on accident.
Good flex, I guess.
It's been so long I don't do anything else. So see a woman wearing a hood and a long, heavy woolen coat, sort of walking down the dusty streets as it starts to get colder and colder as the sun is set at this point and the moon begins to rise. She looks up from the light of her small gas lantern, sees that hand-painted sign labeled Trapper and Crow, and knocks on the door. So the two of you on the inside, as you're quite possibly wrapping up, considering calling it a day because nobody's come in for the last many hours that you've been here, hear a knock on the door.
I awkwardly get up and clear the chair so that there's some place for someone to sit if they come in.
Yeah, just brush the stuff off.
Yeah, I start trying to quickly delint my what used to be probably a pretty nice coat.
Not so much anymore.
No, not since the moths got it.
And I try to stand out of the way and kind of out of sight because I tend to be bad for business.
There's another sharp knock on the door.
Come in.
So the door opens and you see the hooded, heavy wool-coated woman sort of step through. She's a little bit on the shorter side, bit of a broader build. Seems like somebody who's used to getting their hands dirty, going around. Probably a bit of a traveler. She steps in. May I sit?
Yes, that is what the chairs are for.
I have heard that you are a courier service, yes? Sort
Yes.
of expertise in delivering things over long distances?
Correct, we are a bonded courier service. You don't find that much around here because there isn't a courier bond available, except for the one that we've invented.
Ah, interesting. Well, I have gone just about everywhere else, and everyone else has turned down the offer based on what all's going on with it. I have a package. It's not currently on me. You'll have to go pick it up on the way. And I need it delivered into the Akan Wastes. And this may or may not be something that you would actually properly be too aware of. So if I could get the both of you to roll form of knowledge check, you think would be appropriate? It's I have a book.
Common knowledge.
This would, yeah, I'd say this could be common knowledge.
Oh, yeah. All right, that is
2.
2. Yeah, I got a 3 on my.
You got a 3.
I got a 3 on my wild die, so still
Hey.
not good. We've never heard of it.
Well, the Akan Wastes are strange. They're pretty far east of here, over into the middle of this sort of continent, relatively landlocked.
All right, east, middle.
It's
I start
it's the
writing
reason no. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a place anybody else has been willing to go. It's people think of it as dangerous. People are superstitious.
to go there.
All attempts to colonize or settle in that area have failed under various circumstances as far as people are concerned. Apparently, there's supposed to be pocketed communities of travelers who have entered, but nobody's native to that area, at least
Large
not anymore.
Community.
So I need people who are willing to travel, probably around 3 or 4 weeks through that scrub land and various other things to get something to the other side.
Oh, okay. That's no problem then.
It'll pay well. 3,000 Bruzov.
Well, we will certainly take the job then, as long as I have to confer with my associate vice president in charge.
Of course.
Of
2,000 is on completion when the thing is delivered, but 1,000 will be available to you when you reach the town of Lee, which is where you're going to be landing to sort of take your little expedition.
Okay.
It's called Lee. It's a minor phrase, got changed over because they called it Line's End because it's as far as the railroad tracks go east.
I would just like to say that you could not have chosen a better courier service than Trapper and Crow.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Up here first and saved yourself all the trips around to the other courier services you say you have visited.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're so enthusiastic and willing.
Trapper and Crow are the best in the business.
Well said, friend. Well said.
I presume I haven't introduced myself. My name is Bree.
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 Like the cheese.
Bree.
Oh, like the porn star.
I suppose. I don't really take to it myself. It's prohibitively expensive in this era.
I like cheese.
I'm very glad to hear that.
As
Well, it
do
is a
I, Trapper, as do I.
well. It'll be about a week's ride on train to get over to Lee. So that's about it. When you get there, you're gonna want to go to the Howler Monkey Saloon, and you're gonna want to look for the bartender. She'll give you the forward payment for operational costs.
So we have to take the train to Lee.
Yes, I have tickets, and they'll support
Oh,
horses.
well, then, yes, we will accept payment in Lee.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. Your train leaves at noon tomorrow. And if I may ask a favor of the two of you, I would prefer that this be kept on maybe the down low, as far as who I am, and I will also have to ask that you not open the package.
Oh, no, we certainly will not open the package. I assure you that neither myself nor Trapper here can read a word.
Well, good. I suppose it won't do much good to have you sign a contract, will it?
If that is, of course, convenient to you, I'll handle any contract signing after looking it over briefly, although I won't understand a word of it.
This is strictly off the books. That was a little joke.
I don't get it.
That's understandable. I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry.
Don't be nervous. Trapper won't bite first time. Not his style.
Very good. So, just to make sure, just to make sure we're all on the same sort of page here, at around noon tomorrow, you, your horses, and your supplies will be taking the tickets to go to Lee. There, you will find yourselves at the Howler Monkey Saloon, where you will find Cassidy, the bartender, and she will give you the 1,000 bruise-off down payment for operational costs and various things. You'll probably get there to Lee relatively late, so you'll most likely be staying the night. Just to be aware. Rooms have been situated.
When do we get the package?
The package will be given to you by Cassidy.
All right. Well, we should we have to go morning train. I haven't been on a train in a long time. This will be fun.
I am certainly glad that you see it that way. Have a good night. Safe journey. I hope I see you again.
Oh, you will. You said sort of looking at 8 weeks with all the travel, right? 4 and then 4 again.
Yeah, 4 or 5 to get there, including the train, and then 4 or 5 to get back.
All right, so 8 or 12?
8 or 10, probably, depending.
That's what I was, splitting the difference. 8 to 10.
Very good. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough.
Well, you're welcome again. All right.
Remember, discretion. And she stands up, brushes her coat off, nods to the both of you, opens the door, lights a cigarette, and goes back off into the blustering winds.
Trapper.
Yeah.
We're rich.
Good.
So at that, as we settle on down, we're gonna pretend there's like intro music going on. There's you guys going out on adventures, doing stuff, all backstory shenanigans. And at this point, I am going to go through what we have in the store now that things have been set up.
They've got fun little names.
We got fun little names. So first, for $10, we've got Draw 2. So it is able to be used by any player to draw a second initiative card and take the best one, because this is Savage Worlds and I won't be using an actual deck of cards. We have a digital one so we can all use it in the same space and touch it and stuff like that, but use a deck of cards for initiative and various other things on top of your dice. That's kind of part of what makes it cool. Then, after the draw 2, we got he ain't heavy, he's my GM, which is another $10 for a Benny, which will be given to me. A Benny is something that can be used in this game for a multitude of things. If you're familiar with like 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, it's like a point of inspiration, stuff like that. It can be used to re-roll trait tests, soak a wound that is relatively gnarly. It can be used to shake off, if you're sort of shaken, which is a game condition relating to combat. You can use it to also draw a new action card, but I think that's part of the new rules as well. Mm-hmm. And that one's for me, so I can draw a new action card. You can also use it to reroll damage and just for a little bit of story manipulation. I won't be using mine for that, but my players very well may be. And then finally, for $20, we have Don't Hate the Player, Hate the Benny. Each player gains a Benny. And for reference, everybody in the player characters group starts with 3, and I personally will start with 5. So, can we get a description of your characters as you go off to bed?
Mm-hmm. Trapper?
Trapper is 6'3", a little over 200 pounds, has dark hair, gray eyes, and has a permanently puzzled expression on his face.
Very good.
He's often confused, and especially when people speak quickly.
Fair enough. Crow?
Crow likes to speak quickly.
It's true, but you're friends about it, so it's fine. And you don't.
Oh, very much.
Yeah,
he is the most loyal of bosom companions. Don't worry. Crow is a not what you'd call a slight man. He's only really about 5'8", but he is just like whipcorded little Irish dude as far as the way he is built. He clearly has some heft behind his muscles. He dresses like a homeless lord for whatever reason.
Yeah,
and,
that's what he likes.
Yeah, obviously he keeps. I said, Merc. I said, you never mind. You know what? Forget it.
I will forget it.
He's a wiry little guy.
He's a wiry little bastard. So, come the morning, as it may, you get all of your stuff together with your horses and all of that good business, and you head over to the train station. And you see, looking at the tickets, talking to the person behind the ticket booth, that you are directed to the oldest, most deliberately kept working, at the very most, engine in this station.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Yeah, there's a there is a car for your horses and a passenger car. You are
they gonna
riding economy.
Are they gonna make me ride with the horses again this time?
No, we have bona fide tickets, and more than one this time.
Okay.
More than one. Too right. So presumably you gather up and you enter the train. It's nice enough, all things considered. It has carpeting that has definitely been cleaned at various times. Not exceptionally recently, but it's not disgusting.
This is really nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Think of it, Trapper. This job gets done. We could ride a train like this anytime we wanted.
Wow.
Yeah. As you enter, you see the green carpeting and the green sort of fabric over these seats, as well as it's the car that you have been sent to is sort of in these sort of like enclosed different little booth style with windows poking out. Places up ahead to store your luggage and your baggage, as well as a large table between you. And all of the wood, the corners on pretty much everything has been worn down through years and years of being bumped into on people's hips and brushed by arms. But the finish is a relatively light color at this point.
You know, yesterday we were working outside of a stable. Today, sitting in the lap of luxury. We'll be kings, Traps. We'll be kings.
This is nice.
Well said, my big friend. Well said.
As you get yourselves sort of situated, you hear the whistle, the final call for boarding, and in about 5 minutes, things start going and getting ready. You hear the chugs and the chugs of the engine starting to rev up as the wheels start to get drug across the old steel tracks. And you're off. So,
this is better than riding with the horses.
Isn't it, though? And the horses don't have to move a muscle. They get to rest the whole time.
Yeah. So, you've got about a week, and people on this train will start to dwindle off progressively until right around the end, it's just you and a small handful of other people on this train left. What are you doing with your time? Because, there's some other people to schmooze with. There's yourself.
Crow, where do you go pee?
It's been 3 days. Why don't you know that yet? I'll show you. Come on.
You go. You find the sort of go back towards the back of the engine, where there is somewhere to do your business.
I went over the rail last night.
Right. Keep it moved just like when we're riding out on the road. I still don't know how you do that.
It's a skill. What are you going to do?
It really is. The way he could just lean out over the side and drop deuce.
Someone else in the car, like a relatively just normal looking man, small bowler hat, button down, little worn, small bolo ties, just sort of nodding.
Trapper still wears his old army uniform. It's just ratty and torn up.
Very good, very well. So as things continue to chug and chug along, you finally find yourselves and very few other people on the train at Lee Station, end of the line. It's not a big town, but it seems like it's bigger than the amount of people in it would imply. Like maybe at some point this was a boom town of theoretical
silver, maybe
silver, pushing out into the wastes for colonization, looking for trouble, looking for settlement, looking for new lands. And at some point it seems to have failed and the town is on hard times. There's a large clock tower in the center as you sort of get your things together and get off right at the end of the main boulevard. And you can see on the opposite edge of town from the station that you came off of is this large ridge, probably around 200 feet high. It looks natural as far as you can tell, going from one edge of the horizon to the other. Just a big old mound of dirt.
That's a lot of dirt.
Well, at least we know where they get it all now. I think we found the chief export. Howler monkey.
Yeah, you start to poke around town, probably first starting on the main boulevard, so it doesn't take too long. You see the locals. They look a little unwashed, a little impoverished. They're not having a great time of things at the moment, but they're certainly making do. They look like hardy folk.
I think we fit right in then.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They all give you a bit of a side eye and a little bit of suspicion, but the other handful of people who came off of the train definitely draw a lot more of it than they do, or than you do, because you know, there's that sort of like, outsiders, you're new and this is a strange place.
But
you look like
outsiders. We hate them.
But those ones have good clothes. I ain't into that.
That one's wearing socks.
Mug him for his socks.
Pants that haven't been patched 6 times.
Yeah, I mean that really is it in a nutshell. The dress of these people. It's a lot of patches. You know, some people have less patches. You see a few people on horses riding by. One's got sort of a little sheriff's-like star, but it looks like it's probably made out of cheaper material, and it looks handcrafted. Put it that way.
I am very concerned about my horse, so I imagine I've been checking on it periodically, but now that we're here, I want to make sure it gets off that cart.
And
we don't have a tombstone moment.
Yeah, you get your horses off of the back cart relatively easily. You know, they're a little wobbly in the legs, around a week of not being able to move around as much as they would like, but you know, they're okay. They're doing all right.
Good.
And the train, after a moment, after you get all your stuff off, sort of the people on the train, you know, the people tending to the animals and some of the other service workers who gave you food. Lots of potatoes and beef. Yeah. So it'll keep you going.
Eating fancy.
They all give you just a very brisk short wave, and then the train starts to pull back in the other direction and runs on back from where you came. And now you're here, in the middle of this dusty town.
Well, Trapper, here we are. Our future.
There's a lot of dirt in our future.
Well, as long as we're above it most of the time, we should be all right.
Okay.
Two right. So in relatively short order, you know, have all of your things together and you go searching around a bit, looking for the Howler Monkey Saloon, and you find it relatively close to that clock tower, which seems to be sort of a what serves as a seat of government office, locally speaking, as well as a little sort of a sheriff, you know, in the very classical, like, terrible hand-drawn sign work, like the E's backwards.
That's not even lazy. Like, you have to do that on purpose.
It's almost deliberate. So you go to the Howler Monkey Saloon. There is a hitching post outside, of course, and a handful of horses of various sizes, breeds, and health. But there's definitely room for yours.
Good. Susan is a rather temperamental stallion.
Yes.
Too right. You know, that's the way it is sometimes. And there's not much you can do about it. Let me put a little dash there.
Cisco tends to bite, so yeah.
I believe it. I do believe it. So, hitching up your horses, presumably a little bit away from the other horses, to make sure that no shenanigans occurs. You go over to the saloon doors and are washed over by the smell of tobacco and liquor and a lot of sweat.
That smells better than literally everything on my body.
Yep.
Too
Same.
right. Yeah. This is by far the nicest place in town that you have seen so far. There are gas lamps, proper, hanging from the ceiling. There's, handful of various people of the working proclivity. It looks to be about 2 stories as far as you can tell from the inside. Lots of a handful of different gambling tables, cards, dice, that sort of thing. And the damnedest thing, it's pretty crowded in here. It seems like this is where most of the members of this little town go to spend their time, which is probably part of the reason that it has the money to look like anything other than a shithole. You see the damnedest thing. Just catch a little tuft of, you're not quite sure at the moment, something behind the bar.
A tuft,
if,
you're not quite sure.
Yeah, it's just not what you would expect
Like
to see
maybe
behind the
it's
bar.
hair, maybe it's dust, maybe it's a cotton ball.
Yeah, it's moving, and it's
Tough,
big.
So I'm assuming hair. Yeah, can I assume that?
I'd say that's a good assumption to make. But can I get both of you to make notice checks for me? We got to roll some dice, right?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to. I think it's the rules.
It's part of the thing,
I've got a 5 on that one.
That's going to be a 5. That's going to be a success.
Cuckoo, where's my notice? Oh, there it is. It's not good. And that's actually I get to 4, so I get to re-roll 7.
Ooh.
I did good.
You did good. So you got a 7. The both of you get a success without a raise. Do either of you know what a chimpanzee is?
Why not? Why wouldn't we?
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yes.
I don't think I do.
Great. Trapper, you see a hairy little woman behind the bar wearing looks to be like a relatively nice emerald green vest. Crow, that bartender is a chimpanzee. Not Stella from Silverado. This is a chimpanzee. I gotta go on record. I do like that movie.
I love that movie, and I just hurt my feelings so bad. Okay.
No. This is Stella is a human woman. This is a chimpanzee. I gotta go on record.
She's really hairy.
You did say that before I specified, but I do have to go on record.
Are there any people behind the bar?
Not as far as you can tell. Not at the moment, at least. And that be damned if that chimp ain't.
What's the bartender's name supposed to be?
You heard that the bartender's name was Cassidy, and she would be expecting you.
Hello?
The bar is relatively crowded, but there's a few spots over at one end.
Want to go sit down?
Yeah. She initially doesn't take notice of you because she's pretty damn busy at the moment.
I don't try to immediately get the chimpanzee's attention. I watch the chimpanzee interact with other customers for a moment first because I'm not going to be that guy.
Right, yeah, you're trying to be a polite bar goer. Excuse me. We only have one animal in this bar, and it's a chimpanzee. It is not a goat. So you sit down for a minute, and you notice it seems like this chimp behind the bar is pretty damn good at her job. She's moving quickly, not really responding to anybody, other than, just saying how much drinks will cost after they have been ordered.
But
two brews off. Come on.
She does say that?
Yeah, she is speaking
chimpanzee?
She is speaking English.
Do I find that odd?
Absolutely.
I don't know what this world is. So I mean, are there talking animals here?
Some birds, like a parrot, but that's about it. Heard about a gorilla that learned sign language once, but this is
okay. So it's like this isn't like a magical place. This is like
no, not as far as you're concerned. No, this is definitively curious.
All right.
What now?
Hello?
She raises one index finger towards you. Gets a few more.
I just nope. Nope, he's gone. Trapper's problem now.
Uh-huh.
I waited an appropriate amount of time.
Oh, of course. She gets a few more people their drinks, and then stops other people from giving her orders for a moment, and comes over. Yeah, what can I do for you? Where'd your friend go?
I'm gone.
No, yeah, she's talking to Trapper at this point. Hey, what can I do for you? Also, where'd your friend go? So you came in together. It's very impolite to gawk like that. I'm gonna be honest.
Package.
She whistles very sharply, which I'm not gonna do because that's bad radio. And somebody comes from the kitchen and starts to man the bar. It looks like a younger man. This one is human, probably around 19, relatively tall but a little scrawny, wearing a stained apron, and he starts serving drinks with a little less finesse. And she says, all right, grab your friend. We're going to go upstairs. Let's talk. Yeah?
Okay.
All right, come on. And she comes around the bar and motions to make you follow.
Hey, Crow.
All right, listen. I'm going to be in the room. Here's your key. When you can rally his attention, I'm up there. The room number's on the key.
I can't read.
Okay. Can you count?
Yeah.
Can you count at least as high as 5?
Yeah.
Great. All right, it's going to be the 5th room on your right-hand side.
Okay.
Great. I'll see you and your friend up there. I gotta go get the thing. And she hustles off to go collect something. Back exiting the back door.
Crow.
He's outside with his horse.
I head out the door, holding the key in my hand still. Crow.
Ah, traps. How did it go?
We're supposed to go upstairs. 5th room on the right.
All right. 237.
Mm-hmm.
I get
You
it.
take the key. You have it.
No, I mean, I get it.
Oh, yeah. Presumably you go up to the room?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you make your way back through, go upstairs into the room. Things are a little more quiet. And after just a brief moment, you do see that it has 2 distinct beds, a closet, foot chest, a mirror. And you were told that rooms would be situated, so you can at least make the assumption that this will be your room for the night, because I got definitely spaced on mentioning, but you got here off the train at around 8 p.m. So it's a little later.
Yeah.
And, striking out now might not be the best of ideas, all things considered. So after a brief moment, she comes back upstairs and kind of knocks on the door, like pretty hard and a little slowly, like somebody who's carrying something a little heavy.
Come in.
I can't open the door.
Then you should have said something. How'd you knock?
I hit it with my elbow.
God.
I'm 2.5 feet tall, and I'm carrying something that's made for somebody your size. Come on.
I opened the door and I looked down. I go, well, I would have known that if I would have been there.
Fair enough. You can see looking down at her that she's carrying what looks to be a relatively simple, plain constructed wooden box. Probably around 1.5 feet wide, a foot deep, and a foot tall.
All right.
It's got a padlock on the front of it so that it will not be easy to open. All right, so I'm sure that my friend Bree told you all this stuff, like don't open the box, try not to ask too many questions about what is in the box. You're going to have to take it for about 3 or 4 weeks out over the wastes.
Wait, do you know what's in the box?
I do not know what is in the box, no. But I was pretty convinced by Bree's argument, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be some like real important.
Well, I didn't ask. Don't tell me.
That's yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. That's my bad.
I just was
You
wondering.
now know as much. You now know as much as I do, and that it is supposed to be really important.
So why did they give it to like a 4-foot tall bartender who works with an ape?
I am a bartender, and I am an ape. Beg your pardon.
Why are you an ape?
Apparently I showed up at some point over the ridge, and this was like a couple of years ago, like 15 years ago, when I asked for a job, and it was like a real Airbud situation where it's like, well, technically there's no rules stating that a chimpanzee can't work at the saloon, so I got a job. I pretty much run the place. Yeah, there's weird shit over that ridge over there, over in the wastes.
Oh yeah, it's the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's I was I mean, my memories are a little foggy when I was a little I don't even know the word, chimpling. A wee baby chimp, pup. I don't know.
The fact that you know the word for anything is astounding. You realize that, right?
Oh yeah, I did figure that, and it definitely seemed pretty strange when I first got here, and people looked at me weird when I was saying stuff. But I've been here for 15 years.
From?
I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. I remember my childhood a little bit. I grew up in. I grew up in jungle. I'm not from over there. I showed up over there on the other side.
Money.
And then
I just want to know where the money is.
You've got them. I got you. I got your money. Hold on. She reaches inside of her vest and pulls out a little money clip, which you can go through and count all the yellowbacks. That's 1,000 brews off, which will take you quite a ways.
Great. I'll hand her a couple and say, never tell me your backstory again.
All right. Fair enough. You asshole. The room's yours.
I leave.
Trappy, you're all right. Can I get you some?
No,
on the
the
house.
door is closed.
Oh, jeez.
She said, asshole, the door shuts.
Trapper is still completely confused by the entire conversation they had, and he's still trying to figure out what's going on. So,
all right. Fair enough. I'm going to leave.
All right.
And you hear little tiny stomps going away.
Be well.
Yeah, have a good fucking night.
What a horrible little thing. You know that's a monkey, right? And not a person.
What's a monkey?
Where did you serve exactly?
On the southern front.
No monkeys down there.
Huh. No monkeys down there.
Well, they're like dogs, but, worse.
I like dogs.
All right, fine. Oh, like if a dog could throw its dew.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, things. They're not supposed to talk. I know that. Saw one in a zoo once.
Oh, the zoo.
They're in zoos. They put them in cages next to lions and tigers and bears.
I saw a zoo once.
I know. We talked about the zoo. That was good. It was a good talk.
At around this point, there is another less aggressive knock on the door. I didn't realize this session was going to be a lot of door knocking on my part, but apparently it is.
Who is it?
Travis? I'm one of the servers. I got food. Do you want it?
Sure, come in, Travis.
It's all right. You see the same wiry, a little bit tall, but definitely pretty scrawny human boy. Again, looks around 19, carrying a wooden platter with a few things on it. Looks like a creamed cabbage, some meat that looks kind of like beef, but smells a little different. You've probably both eaten horse before. It smells like horse. As well as, some glazed carrots of some kind, as far as you can tell. It's on the house for the
Probably glazed in horse.
yeah, probably.
Common dish.
There's a lot of good bits on a horse. Don't want to let it go to waste.
Right.
So they do have talking apes and they eat horses here. That's all I wanted to know.
Oh, we got
We
when the horses. Yeah. Well, when the horses get old and die.
Right. No, I
do something.
my grandparents, same thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, my boss told me that you were rude to her. She's the real, the short one with all the black fur.
I literally paid her to stop talking, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Took the money and she's still talking. I'd like that back. You can let her know.
I guess I will. Do you want the food?
Yes, please.
Great. I'm gonna leave it on the table. Have a good one.
You keep that for yourself, then, Travis.
Yep. Oh, that wasn't a question. That's all right. I'm gonna leave. And he walks out looking a little confused and just a little.
Trapper, was I saying his name wrong?
That's how he said it.
That's what I thought.
I thought he talked funny.
Oh, no, he seemed very nice. And he brought us all food.
These aren't our horses, are they?
Oh, no, we'd know by the taste.
It's a good horse.
Yeah, I can't eat the horse. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Trapper doesn't hesitate. He eats the horse.
I'm sure.
It's Trapper. It's good horse.
And whatever Crow doesn't eat, Trapper eats also.
Yeah. The creamed cabbage and glazed carrots are also they're pretty all right. They'll do. More than serviceable. Heavy and hearty. Yeah, so it's probably around 9 at this point if there's anything else you want to do before you tap out.
Not really.
I'm going to head downstairs and find a stable for the horses.
Absolutely.
That's yeah.
Yeah, as you go out to start inspecting the horses and starting to look around, Travis comes up and taps you on the shoulder.
Who? Him?
Trapper. Travis taps Trapper because he's looking for a stable. We got some for you that we take to if you like.
A stable?
Yeah, I mean you're just keeping them overnight, as I understand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely got room. No trouble.
Cisco bites.
Why don't I show you and you lead them?
Okay.
You get brought over to the stable. It's a little ramshackle, but much. Oh. It's a little ramshackle, but much like the saloon, it's pretty much the nicest building in town, aside from that clock tower, which, as you get outside, you notice is bonging 9 right as you come out.
Does your town have a zoo?
No, we got some cattle, a couple of beasts of labor. Why?
Because you have a monkey.
Oh, she's my boss. She signs my paychecks. No, it's not actually paychecks.
They gave the monkey a bank account.
Yeah, we got a bank in town.
Give the monkey a bank account. You said there was no magic.
This is the first talking monkey you've ever seen.
So
Take
what-
the horses to the stable, then head back to the room.
Great. Yeah, you head back on up to the room. You can see Crow is there doing something. Crow, what are you doing?
He's getting ready for bed.
Great. Absolutely. Stripping down your long johns or whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
I think at this point in his career, he's just maybe taking off his boots.
Yeah.
You know, that's fair.
Nothing left.
Yep. I take off my boots and my coat.
Absolutely. Love to see it. So, it's relatively simple falling to sleep when you do. Night seems to pass relatively calmly, aside from the strange dreams. You know, don't seem much stranger than normal, but you are definitely both sort of racked a little bit by nightmares, visions of your past that you'd much rather forget, sort of touched with other visions of things going even worse than they already did. Just disquieting, not terribly restful, but you did get a solid amount of sleep. And it's morning by the time you both wake up.
Wonderful. Now that we've got a little bit of money,
You've got a fair bit of money.
yeah, we're going to get the horses taken care of. Cleaned and brushed and, get their hair dyed, whatever color they want.
Get a hoofacure.
I'm gonna have a bath.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. Baths cost $1 each. It's very little trouble.
Yeah, Trapper and Crow get clean.
Yeah. The horse pampering costs around $5 per horse.
Good. And then we make sure all of his stuff is in tip-top condition.
Mhm.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
How's your armor?
Good. We should get extra horse feed.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't we do that?
I don't know.
And I should probably not wander around the wilderness completely unarmed.
likely not. Get
Oh,
something
yeah.
else. As you know, you're having this discussion, getting up, starting to talk about what you're going to do with the money. You notice Slipped underneath the door is a compass and a note.
Neither of us can read.
Well, I can. I was trying to make the lady feel better before.
Oh, of course.
Trapper cannot read it at all.
Right, and Crow tells Trapper that he also can't read. I mean, they've both been illiterate for as long as he can remember. But Crow can read just fine.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't want to be rude about it.
No, he doesn't like lording things over Trapper's head.
No, of course not. Well, as you squint at the page, trying to decipher the arcane symbols thereupon, you're relatively confident that it's just a note saying, let the compass lead you. And, looking at it, considering it just for a moment, it's definitely not pointing north.
The compass is broken, Crow.
I know.
Seems like it's pointing just about straight east.
But we are supposed to be going east.
That is correct.
We'll follow it for the time being.
Indeed. So, we've got ourselves a little bit of a shopping trip to go on. What you looking for?
We're looking for rations. And
Yeah, looking for rations, horse food.
feed ourselves and feed our horses. Keep ourselves warm and dry as much as possible. Do we know any towns on the way?
You don't know a damn thing about what comes over that little hill, that ridge. Would you like to ask around?
Yeah, that sounds great.
You go around, you ask a few.
After I buy a sword.
Absolutely. You buy a sword, you can buy a gun if you want one, but you don't have to.
They make Trapper nervous.
I don't like guns.
Checks out. Let me pull up a thing so we can get the proper business. Not that. Not that. Come on now.
I don't like swords or knives or bows or guns. You.
Absolutely. So, the handful of things you can find dealing with the shopping stuff first is you're either going to be able to find a cavalry saber or an infantry saber. They look old, a little bit discarded, a little bit corroded, but the edge has been kept up to a reasonable amount and the steel's still good. For reference, the cavalry saber is going to do strength plus a die 6. And the infantry saber is only going to do strength plus a die 4, but you get +1 to your parry while you wield it. And they're both going to cost around 200 brews off. Pass? Fair enough.
So I'm good. Let's go.
You're good. Yeah. Spend, I don't know, 50 brews off on people and horse feed. Relatively confident that it'd probably at least get you all the way there.
Yeah,
And then you're supposed to be meeting.
Do they have at least a decent long knife that has a double edge on it?
Oh, yeah. You can get a...
Great.
Let me pull that back up. Great. Let me give you dagger stats for dagger things. Yeah. Strength plus a die 4. Only going to cost like 25 brews off.
Neat. Take it.
Yeah. And it's,
Is it also rusty?
No, this one's in better condition. It's definitely worn, but it's something that's been kept up better. Pretty much everything you were able to find as far as
used, yeah.
weapons and tools go is somebody else left it here.
Gross.
Yeah. And it's it's got like a Bowie knife style grip, but much more of a broad, straight blade.
Good knife.
Good knife. So, as you are going about asking for what all is up over on the other edge of the ridge, you come across a few things. First seems to be an older man who was in the stable tending to your horses, missing at least half of his teeth. Got a hell of a limp, probably a bum leg, you'd guess. You got to stay out of that place. Yeah. Ain't no gods out there, at least not any I heard of.
Why would that matter?
Well, we got gods over on this side of the ridge. Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things can look after you over here, but ain't nobody looking after you on the other side.
And you thought that was the type of information that we were looking for?
Nobody goes over there. At least not anymore. People tried to. A long time ago when I was a kid. Came back crazy. Came back injured. Came back dead. Which is when they didn't come back at all.
And the opinion you formed was that just because there's no gods,
Nothing
the all
seems to.
powerful gods can't see over a hill.
Well, nothing seems to go right for anybody over there.
And you think it's because the gods aren't able? That's what you think? Like, or are they telling this at churches? In a book?
I mean, it's just my guess. Things go that poorly just over that ridge, and weird stuff happens. You met the bartender.
The bartender
not...
ape.
Yeah, she's Chimp. And that's, I mean, you know, she's a perfectly fine member of the community, but that certainly ain't natural.
Came from over that way, did it?
Yeah. Wandered in.
It occurs to me that a talking animal of any type would be considered miraculous.
Yeah, we've had 15 years to get used to it.
Yeah, and at the same time, you know what? It doesn't matter. It just seems if a talking animal is miraculous, why did it come from a place that there are no gods?
Magic, fiendish works, things like that. I don't know.
Right. Thank you so much for your time.
I mean, if we're all under the light of, you know, I mean, I don't mean to get preachy. Whatever gods we're following over here, and there ain't no weird nothing over here. Like things go a little strange sometimes. Like, you know, I got my bum leg and I grew up with it, but
to a monkey, you don't think that's weird?
It's definitely weird, but she's good at it.
I never followed a god, but I followed a colonel once.
That seems like a very seems like a very deep sentiment.
Did you meet the colonel in person?
Yeah.
What did you think?
He led us. He was in charge of the company.
You see, he was in charge of the company.
So what color was it again? You wanted your horse's manes colored?
Whatever they want. If they refuse to just leave it.
Reaches, touches the horse. I'm getting like a lavender off of this one.
Well, you know, do as the gods will. I'm sure Susan won't mind. He's very gentle.
Seems like a nice horse. And as for this one over here, as for Cisco, I believe you said his name was. Cisco likes the brown. Cisco's good with the brown. Got a nice brown mane, you know, wouldn't want to rough it up none.
Does he have a bite mark on him?
Looks like he has a lot of horse bite marks, but a lot of them are definitely too old to have been Cisco. Some of them probably are Cisco, but it seems like at this point he's almost built up an immunity to it like poison. Yo, I've been bit by a lot of horses in my time. So, presuming you would like to ask somebody else other than the strange old man who,
Yeah, definitely somebody else.
yeah. A majority of people are definitely just sort of not going to talk about it. You find, another person, middle-aged woman, tall, broad, carrying bales of water back in the direction of what seems to be her house from the well.
Got it. A tall broad with some water.
There's some over that ridge. Might be devils over that ridge. You can hear them howling at night. It ain't like wolves. It ain't right.
All right. Devils, but no gods. This is not sounding like a good place to me, Trapper.
Yeah.
Not like capital D, not a big one, just little suckers. Packs of them. Saw him ridgelining himself one night. Themselves, there's a bundle of them. Little folk, big, pointy ears, little tails whipping around like cats.
Pointy ears and cat tails.
Well, I didn't see what the tails were up close. I was pretty far away, but they were whipping around like an excited house cat.
Well, we thank you for your time.
Cats.
Now, if you're going over there, be careful.
We are going over there, yes. Yes. No two ways about it. Heading over there. Going
That's,
that.
Good luck. Don't die.
All
And
right.
she takes her water and continues to wander off. And there's only one more person who's willing to talk to you about whatever it is over that ridge. And it's a small girl, blonde, pigtails, sort of a dirt-stained little dress. I'd be careful over there, misters. It's
Is it because the devils are the no gods?
I don't know anything about any gods or lack thereof or any devils, but I know stuff doesn't work right over there. My granddad went over there once and I guess he told my dad, to weird stuff. He's dead now, of course. It's been a long time, but
Right, yeah. Why wouldn't your dad be dead? You're 7.
No, my dad's dead now, but he was alive for a while long. But all right, not important. My granddad told my dad, and my dad told me, things don't work right over there. He refused to talk about it too much, but he said, even death doesn't work right over there, and that seems like kind of ridiculous, right?
Literally everything I've heard about over there seems ridiculous. Every single thing. It makes this whole town seem like a bunch of stupid idiots.
Well, kind of. We still live here, don't we? The whole place is falling apart, and we still live here. That's
Right.
gotta be stupid.
Right, you give all your money to an ape and you believe in devils. So
Hey, Cassidy is a good woman.
no, she's not any kind of a woman at all.
Well, you're very rude, but also you have a point. I am a child. I have no way to leave this town. So, what are you gonna do? Well,
Leave someday?
well,
promise
yeah,
yourself
but
now, make yourself this vow, or just try and up the local IQ.
I'm doing my best. I'm a teacher's assistant at the local school.
Oh, well that's great. I never went to school.
That's neither did I until I did.
The educated men and women, devils with tails and pointed ears. No. Trapper, we should just go.
We should go.
Let's just get on our horses and go.
Have a good day. I hope if you die, you stay dead.
That's an awful thing to say. Really, even if you meant it nicely.
I do mean it nicely. My dad talked about hearing people over the ridge.
Your dad's dead.
Well, yeah, he's now. And as you wander off, that's why it's weird. I still hear him talking about it. So you have your provisions. You have bought a fighting knife.
I am thoroughly not believing any of this bullshit.
So you ride up to the top of the ridge.
Yep.
Supernatural.
Yeah, it's rocky a little bit, but it's relatively easy riding if you take it a little slow to get up to the top of the ridge to look over. Again, it's around 200 feet tall. It's a big old sucker, like a just line of hill. You ride on up to the top, you look over, and as far as you can see to the horizon, which, you're travelers, you might not be learned, but the horizon lasts for about 4 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like scrubland.
I guess we should start riding across it.
Yeah. Got that compass, and it's pointing true. A little bit north is straight due east.
Yeah, we're absolutely just going to follow that compass.
I'll take the lead.
You bet.
Absolutely.
Trapper usually rides in front.
You continue to ride forward. The day goes...
The only one that can shoot.
And the day goes pretty damn slowly. There's just a lot of riding through the scrublands, and
it's okay. We spend our time waxing about how great our company is going to be.
Just mostly Crow talking and Trapper saying, "Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I like money."
Yeah. So, could I get the both of you to roll me notice checks?
Absolutely, you can.
It's starting to draw a bit later, probably around 4 p.m. The sun is starting to dip. It's dipped off center a little bit at this point.
I got a 4.
You have a 4.
10.
You have a 10, and I also have to see. This is going to be a contested one, so I'm just going to do a little. Excuse me, I forgot to grab the correct dice before I rolled the contested thing, but I've got it now, and I only got a 3 on dice. So the two of you notice, and Trapper notices it approaching long before Crow does. What looks to be a ridge. Not like the ridge that you passed, but a small ridge of dirt just busting up, cracking a little bit, the dry soil, approaching you, and very slowly getting closer. But Trapper notices it initially.
The dirt is moving towards us.
Seems like it is sort of following you to the right about 200 feet. Crow, you both notice this, the little bit of broken dirt. But Trapper, you specifically notice that it is very slowly starting to get a little bit closer.
It's coming towards us.
Is it faster than us?
It's keeping pace and getting slightly closer.
Let's stop. Don't much like being followed. Could be dangerous, they said. Got to protect the package, don't we?
I'm going to climb down from my horse, pull out my bow, put in an arrow.
2 right. You look.
Do you want me to shoot it?
No, it's below the ground at this point. You'd be shooting ground.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go step on it.
All righty. I love to hear it. Cause some trouble. So, Crow, I'm curious.
I firmly believe whatever is over there, I could easily squash down.
Yeah, of course.
Probably
I'm
just
sorry.
A very, very fast prairie dog or something.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm sorry I keep leaning out of line of sight. Let me move my dice bag over onto this desk so that I can grab it with a little bit more of an easier thing. God, why am I not finding the right dice? Come on. Come on, I know there's tons of you in here. That'll do. What's your parry, Crow?
I believe it is 7, but let me double check. Parry, 7. Yes.
Parry is going to be a 7. Very interesting. So, Trapper, you notice it before Crow does. The movement has stopped. You're both aware of that. But Trapper, you notice just a split second before something bursts out of the ground directly underneath Crow. A little bit of distortion in the earth right underneath him as he starts to get closer. Something under it moving maybe upward. And at that point, this large set of jaws burst forth straight up from the ground. There's the second one.
There we go. Put my character sheet on the private chat for you.
Oh, great.
In case you need it for anything.
I will be happy to reference it if need be. So, directly beneath your right ankle, you see the large... It looks like the two bottom halves of a wolf's jaw put together to make a singular jaw. Burst straight up out of the ground, like a solid 2 feet long, and clamp down on your leg. You are going to take... Excuse me, I have to look at my dice again, because I had it. 7 damage. Does that break your toughness?
I don't believe it does. Let me double check. It's right here. My toughness is 7.
Your toughness is 7, so that is going to be enough to...
Do nothing.
Yeah, it's going to do nothing. It's going to be enough to make you... Sorry, I know the word.
Shaken?
Yeah,
shaken. Thank you. You will be shaken, and at this point, we are all going to draw a card in the name of doing some initiative as things start to go a little wackadoo.
Okay.
So, it's you. I'm gonna shuffle because we have the second one split. So the way this is gonna work, sorry, I've got it shuffled. Click and drag the top card off. I'm gonna pull one up first.
What am I supposed
and
to
then
do?
I sent to the Facebook group that we're all in the little chat a link to a group deck of cards that we can all futz around with at once.
I got the Joker, so you just got
You
a
got
Benny.
the Joker.
We both just got a Benny.
We both got a Benny because I also got a Joker for the scary one. How do we do initiative ties? So, you both get a Benny, so that's nice. You both go up to 4.
I don't see this. I'm very sorry.
It's quite all right. I will send you the link again. Just pop that over. Come on. This is the one. This will be for the one that the 3 of us are in, relevant to this, and I have bumped it right on in there again.
Well, I gotta go.
Yeah. Check.
Did you both draw jokers? Okay.
Yes,
We
both
did
got
actually.
Joker, and you got a king.
You got a king, which would be great.
If you hadn't both drawn jokers, it would
We
be.
hadn't both drawn jokers. I'm gonna James, do you remember off the top of your head how Joker ties are resolved?
Reverse. So in this case, red's going to go before black.
Okay.
Reverse alphabetical.
So first, and then after this round, we will shuffle it and redeal as normally. But we have to
Assuming it
shuffle
wants to go first. Because Joker goes at any time, including interrupting an
This
action.
is true. It would like to go first with a +2 to all of its big kid rolls. And as it has sort of your leg grabbed, you're not considered grappled or anything, it is going to try and hold on to it and pull you downward. So, Crow, if I could get you to give me a athletics trait check, which is, I believe, a skill that exists, but it is going to be based on your strength.
Only if I have brute.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's agility if you don't have brute.
Oh, excuse me. Then I... okay. Fair enough. I'm going to change this because I misremembered that. This is going to be a strength check, not an athletics check.
Okay.
Because it is trying to wrestle you under the ground, and you are trying to not be wrestled. It got a 3, so you may beat a 3.
I got a 15.
That's a hell of a lot of raises. So as this weird double bottom wolf jaw is sort of bear trapped onto your leg and it tries to pull you down, you just extremely quickly sort of give into it to let your teeth out of the back, let your leg out of the backwards facing teeth, and then pull them straight off to the side so you can just slip right out.
That's right. Nobody plants like I do.
Damn right. And that is going to be... Yeah. Think of this. And then, for its movement, it has disappeared back under the ground. But it is presumably still very close because you haven't seen any more distortion of the earth. So it's probably right under you. Moving on down, Trapper is going to be next. What would you like to do?
Well, I've got the Joker, so I can go at any time, and my action is going to be to hold until it makes itself visible.
Okay.
I yell.
Absolutely.
I yell, Trapper! And I reach down the hole and I grab it and yank it back up, unarmed attack.
All right. So is this going to be something trying to grab it and yank it?
Yep. I'm a grappler.
All right. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly how grappling works because
Fighting first.
Okay, great.
Fighting first because it's the same as an unarmed attack.
Right.
Too right. 8. Yeah, that is going to meet its parry. This thing is it's going to beat its parry. Blech. This thing is not a slouch, but an 8 is a pretty good roll. So, I do that. I'm going to grab it. Combat, there we go. Grab the thing. It's been a minute since I've run this damn thing.
It's okay.
Yeah. Taking that. Grappling. There we go. Fighting roll causes no damage. Attacker wins, which you do. Entangled the foe. With a raise, the foe is shaken. That is not going to be a raise over its parry, but you are going to hit, do no damage, so you are able to wrench it out of the ground. And you can see the body of this thing is you can sort of touch it and feel it. It is covered in fur, as is the head, but it's like very slick in a way that almost feels like otter's fur, where it just sort of wicks moisture off, but it doesn't catch dirt. Mm-hmm. And this long serpentine neck, still in the ground as you sort of wrench it up and out, is attached to the head.
I'm going to use my Joker to interrupt an action in progress while it is still Crow's turn to fire. I think I'm going to shoot twice with my trademark weapon and take the multi-action penalty, because even with the multi-action penalty, I'm still going at +1 over my skill trait roll, because it is a trademark weapon.
Damn right.
So first one is going to be a 13.
Okay, that's gonna raise.
And second one
Twice.
is going to be a
No,
12.
once. Both of those are going to raise once.
All right. No matter how many raises on an attack roll, it only gives you the benefit one time. So
Yeah. Just, yeah, I'm telling you so you can gauge
appreciate
what
it.
its parry is. Or, oh wait, no, sorry. When you're shooting, it's only based off of a 4. Both of those are gonna
Yep.
raise way more than once. But I have parted the curtain. You know more than you should.
we are going to do 14 damage for the first shot, including the extra d6 for the raise.
Okay.
Whatever its toughness is. Oh, and this next one's going to be way worse. And we're going to do 20 damage on the second shot over whatever its toughness happens to be.
So that is going to be enough.
And this has armor piercing 1 because it is a longbow, so it ignores 1 point of the armor of the creature.
Good, great. Thing is not armored, technically. It's just relatively tough. However, that is still going to be enough to raise once on the first one, which is going to shake it and do damage, and then raise multiple times on the second attack, knocking out all of its ones. You shoot 2 shots straight into it. They're, both perfectly halfway through this thing's like 8-inch wide neck, and it goes limp in your hand, Crow.
Yeah, and then I drop it, but it doesn't fall all the way back in the hole because the arrows are holding it.
Yeah, oh, I mean, it just sort of like comes down and flops.
I just grabbed it by the jaws, yanked it up so its neck was showing, and then just dropped it back down.
Yeah, and it's bleeding red blood.
That is
the
awful.
color that blood should be. It's bleeding a lot of it.
That's not like a normal animal that I've seen, though, right?
No. That's it's a weird fur snake with no eyes.
I'm going to pluck the arrows out, and I would like to make a survival roll to study it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you pluck the arrows out. Absolutely, make me a survival roll.
Would you try and yank the rest of the beast out of the hole too?
Yeah, I think you're able to do that. Do you want to assist for this, Crow?
On the survival check? No,
Yeah.
I'll only hinder him.
Okay. I got a 5 on the survival roll.
5 is going to be a success. As this thing is pulled out, you can tell it's probably around 20 feet long in total. I will continue to describe it with the survival stuff after Nicole Allen was kind enough to give us a player Benny. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you.
Because of the Joker, that puts us up to 5, my friend. We each have
Puts
5.
you up to 5.
Thank you, Nicole Allen.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
First of all, with that survival roll, the arrows are undamaged and you're able to retrieve them without any trouble. The arrowheads are in great condition. You're relatively confident that this 20-foot long snake thing, first of all, it has no eyes, so your best guess of how it was noticing you was based on some sort of vibration or possibly heat, but it wouldn't be what you would maybe expect. Because at this point, you are both colder than your surroundings. You're in scrublands at a relatively moderate elevation, completely landlocked. Things are pretty hot right now.
What kind of a scarf would it make?
Like a...
Luxurious?
It would be luxurious, and it would be very difficult to get properly dirty. Because again, part of what you can notice with that survival roll, and also you were able to feel Crow as you were able to just oh so delightfully yoink it with your hands. The fur of this thing seems like probably part of the reason that it's able to just move through the dirt and the silt underneath so easily is that very specifically its fur just sort of brushes off dirt and snags and things like that.
Well, like moles do a pretty similar thing, don't they?
They do. But moles also dig with limbs and pull themselves along with limbs. This has no limbs at all. It seems to be a big old fur snake. It looks like an animal. No signs of, anything super weird other than that maybe it's just an animal you'd never seen before.
Still fascinating, is it?
Mm.
Traps? I mean,
I wonder if it tastes good.
well, there's really only one way to find out, isn't there?
I'll give you that survival for being able to get a solid amount of meat off of this thing. And you do. And you are also able to reclaim the fur if there's anything you want to do with it in the hide.
Yeah.
But Trapper waste not, want not. He was raised on the frontier. This is normal for him. That's why he doesn't fit in with civilized people.
Too right. I'm just not used to it. So, as you situate this, the sun starts to dip closer and closer to the horizon, and you are able to butcher this beast and get a solid amount of meat out of it. And based on your guesses, it doesn't seem to have any venom sacs. There's no indication, as far as you can tell, that this thing would be poisonous or venomous. So you're relatively sure that it's probably safe to eat.
Yeah.
All right. Let's scrounge up some scrub brush and any nearby dung and build a small fire.
Yeah, lots of scrub brush, not much dung, but there's a few slightly larger trees. Not actually big, only like 8 feet tall, relatively thin canopies, but it's just a bit of shade and it's some dryish wood.
Yeah, I only use the dead portions of the trees. I don't take anything living.
Absolutely, and that stuff is dry, so it burns better. So you put all of this good business together and have it. Also, we got another tip from Merc Worky giving us 10 dineros for a draw 2. So if one of you doesn't like what's going on, you can get a new initiative card. Thank you very much, Merc.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Why are you
Trapper
putting...
is strange and eats things. But that's kind of how he decides if things are good or not, by putting them in his mouth.
That's actually a lot more responsible than most.
The same things the same way by Trapper putting things in his mouth.
Yep.
Trapper might be weird, but Trapper does have taste. So you get it together, you start to cook it a bit. I assume you have some sort of cooking implements since you're used to traveling for long distances.
I'm just cooking it on a stick.
Okay.
I have cooking implements and I don't allow him to just cook it on a stick.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got your...
Crow definitely
I'll leave a little spit for you so you can, turn the stick. And your job is to turn the stick.
It's important.
Crow definitely ups my culinary skills.
You know what? You make a good team. Yeah, so you've got your cowboy walk over the fire. And it's a little gamey, but it tastes just...
Does it taste
gonna be weird.
Does it taste more like snake or does it taste more like rat?
Yeah,
it tastes
Crow.
a little. It tastes like a mixture between snake and bear. I have had bear. I haven't had snake.
Okay.
Yeah, bear is very gamey. It's very tough, but it's good. Got a lot of flavor in there.
Snake. It depends on the kind of snake.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. It's a big ass non-venomous steak. As opposed to a constrictor, it is a leg ripper.
Snake is like if chicken were shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's chicken if chicken were shrimp that were also bear.
The texture is like shrimp for snake.
Okay.
Yeah, or like badly cooked lobster.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your little campfire. Things are starting to get dark. You gonna push onward into the night, or do you think this is a good place for you to spend your first night of travel?
Oh no, this is great. It's not even dark. I can set up camp and we can get cooking and just all this stuff.
Great. We will deal with camp logistical business, or maybe we won't, after we take, say, a 10-minute break.
All
Sure.
right.
Whatever you want.
Sounds good. It seems like a fine time for it. You know, stretch your backs. We've all been setting for a minute.
Great. We don't have any trailers or anything to run though during this, do we?
No, I just I dark the screen and run the mute, but we will be right back in 10 minutes or less, guys.
Yeah,
Some of us
see-
might be here sooner.
Yeah.
Great. Whoever gets back first gets to say hi to everybody first. So lucky.
Oh,
wait, it's
too
gonna be
right.
See you guys
Probably gonna
shortly.
be-
All right.
All
Have
right.
a good break, everybody.
See you soon.
I 100% agree about the jingle.
Nice. Oh, I see a Christian.
I see a Christian too. It's me.
They were having wonderful discussions while we were gone.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are they keeping it clean?
Mostly.
That's good. That's good.
Apparently, I need to come up with lyrics to the A-Team theme song.
Okay. Does the theme song need to also introduce each individual character?
I think that should be an important part of it. I mean, to make it truly 80s.
It is a good theme song. It's like the second best instrumental theme song for any show. First being MacGyver, third being MASH. Even though I know Suicide is Painless has words to it. It's play them.
Yeah. I think Knight Rider ranks up there too, though.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't have as much build to it. Hey, are we here? We're here.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
I think you are muted.
You're right. I thought I unmuted my mic, but sometimes pushing the button on the microphone doesn't actually unmute it properly.
I understand.
Because that's the way that it goes. So it looks to me like we're back.
We are.
So, just in the name of a brief recap,
Recaps.
a little recap.
Recap.
Yeah.
How apropos.
First of all, let me just shuffle that. So, we have our two intrepid heroes, Trapper and Crow, a pair of couriers, expedited package mailing service.
Mm-hmm.
Used to going long distances to get individual packages in places in times of need. And their little business, been no jobs for a while. Pretty damn broke.
Yes, we were formed primarily by Crow, who is the entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And Trapper is the former Army cavalry scout and horseman and field guide.
Indeed.
Crow does the thinking and the talking.
Indeed.
Oh,
But Crow was humble enough to put his name second on the sign, which is listed Trapper and Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. I mean, Crow can ride okay, but he can't hunt. He can't shoot. Like, out of doors is not where he belongs.
Indeed. Strange line of work you've decided to take, but here we are.
It was easy to get a license, and it was affordable.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. People are always looking for postmen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little tip for all you kids in the real world. United States Postal Service always looking for workers.
Yeah, I still have my advocate license in case things get bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. So, Trapper and Crow.
It's the only job I could get outside of the Army.
Right. And not necessarily wanting to go
Plus,
back.
Being a good mate, I cut him in for half.
Oh, that's good. Is that before or after operational costs? Big quotes, operational costs.
Yes, it is.
So our intrepid postmen, Trapper and Crow, were offered a job by a woman by the name of Bree. She told them that they would have to go out to a small little town called Lee, which is short for Line's End.
Mm-hmm.
Strange place, which is right on the border entering the Akan wastes. A strange
We
place
took the
where
job
strange
despite
things
the fact
happen.
that she spells her name with 2 E's.
Yep.
Oh, she does spell her name with 2 E's. That is correct.
And we took the job anyway, just to show you how desperate we were.
It's true. She also offered good money for the work, because apparently nobody else would be willing to take it and go out into the wastes. Not only is it a ways away, but people don't like going there. Apparently weird, spooky things happen. So, after taking the job for a hefty sum of money, totaling at the end of it to 3,000 brews off, which is basically just $1. But we had to put something cool in it because we're not in the United States. We're in some alternate shenanigans.
Yes. Very alternate shenanigans.
Very alternate shenanigans.
A place with no magic and talking monkeys.
No magic, and apparently a talking monkey.
And burrowing snakes with giant jaws.
Indeed. These being part of the reason, presumably, that people do not trust the Akan Wastes. It is a strange place where strange things happen.
Oh, nothing we can't handle.
Oh, yeah. So, making the way to Lee, they met with who they were told to contact, a chimp bartender by the name of Cassidy, who would give them a package and the 1,000 brews off advance, all in straight, crisp yellowbacks, spendable anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed the night, got their horses boarded, picked up a little more rations and various other things to make sure that they would be ready for the journey on the road. And, well, rather, lack of road. But they asked around a little bit for some help, and they got some unhelpful superstitious shenanigans coming from the local townsfolk about whatever lies beyond the Great Ridge into the Akan Wastes.
Which we did not believe. But in Trapper's case, he did not understand what anyone was talking about.
Indeed. And somebody pointed out that Bruzoff is the name of the currency in a very weird game called I Divine Cybermancy, but they got it because it is an obscure French slang for money, for currency. And I like it. I like Bruzoff. So that's the way that things go. You know, what are you going to do? And they quickly, after meeting with the chimpanzee and some various other people, being a little rude to the chimp, but given it is the first person that is not a human who has been able to talk back to them that they ever met, it does make a little bit of sense.
Now, we're not exceptionally well-traveled men, but that's not something we've ever seen before.
Nope. And Trapper has done a lot of traveling.
This is quite true.
And Crow says he has.
Indeed. So, having made out over the ridge into the wastes, a large, vast scrubland to the end of the horizon as far as you can tell, it looked like things were going smoothly, lots of boring days of travel out in the wilderness, playing I Spy, where the answer was almost always cloud, shrub, or dirt. At one point, investigating a strange ripple traveling alongside them in the earth, our friend, the delightful Crow, he is a sweet boy in his heart, trust me.
Mm-hmm. He
had his leg bear-trapped by some sort of strange eyeless wolf head popping out of the ground after ripping it straight out and being shot with 2 arrows straight into the neck from Trapper, an exceptional archer. They pulled it out, determined that it was definitely a weird furry snake. Skinned it, gutted it, butchered it.
Like some sort of weird furry snake.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie, dude. Okay.
I'm sure that you have. That doesn't mean that I have, though. Listen, this happens. At one point, I accidentally ran an entire session that was before I had ever seen. I had accidentally recreated Event Horizon.
Oh, yes. Hell ship.
It was on the hell ship.
Don't
What
do
are you
that.
going to do?
I regularly get accused on Metaverse of stealing things from movies, even when I'm not actually stealing movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens. good ideas get used. And that's just the way that works.
Only
So
half the time
after...
am I actually stealing from movies.
Right, yeah. And what it is, it's very blatant and very on purpose. It's an homage. Or a parody. One of those, depending on the vibe. So after ripping this big old wolf snake straight up out of the ground, skinning it, butchering it, gutting it, and determining that the meat was probably safe to eat, as long as it is cooked. Don't know what kind of parasites are in there in theory. Sat down to make camp as the sun begins to set.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our camera swoop in from the sky, pulling into the campfire as one of you is tending over your cowboy walk with a bunch of snake meat stir-frying in it.
Heck yeah.
Crow does the fancy cooking like that.
He only cooks on sticks.
Yeah, I cook on sticks.
Only sticks. Made skewers for him once. Had him made blacksmith. They were 10 steaks the next day, and he cooked on a stick.
Trapper does things the one way.
If it works, Trapper's a simple man.
Usually they just call him a simpleton, but...
Right, of course. But, that's a little rude.
So, yeah, we'll cook the dinner, eat it, sit around this little campfire, sing cowboy songs.
Singing cowboy songs.
Singing cowboy songs. It'll happen.
They're all a little bit different. Like, I wish I was in the land of cocoa beans. All that good business. In the world of alternate Mississippi.
With like a dreadful accent to go. So they're not quite like cowboy songs.
Right. Yeah, the Irish cowboy with a weird British accent.
Yeah, exactly.
And while he's an enthusiastic singer, Trapper is always horribly off key.
You know what? He's off key, but he keeps the drone going. It's important.
And it scares away predators.
It does.
It scares away everything.
And I can sleep right through it. You can sing all the way through watch. I don't care.
You've just gotten used to it at that point. So, now I think this would be a good time, all things considered, for me to pull a little interlude on you as you set down for camp.
Ooh, interlude.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I want to make you kids flex your improv acting chops, because I know you both got them.
He does, I don't.
I've known you long enough to know that you do all right. So the two of you both get to do the super exciting fun thing of drawing a single card. And that is going to determine the kind of story about your past that you're going to talk to one another about over wolf snake dinner.
Wolf snake dinner.
So, looks like we've got a king for one of you.
Yep, I got diamonds.
And that is a joker. So let me go here. I've got it. Find the bow. It's under game rules, I should think. That's right, that's all. Interludes, page 105 in the book that I have.
130 in mine.
Interesting. I'll have to get the new ones. Thankfully, Washington State is handling unemployment very well right now, so I would have the money to replace my books.
If a player draws a joker, give everyone, including the GM, an extra Benny, and then you let them choose the suit and category for their interlude.
Great. So we all get a Benny. You're both at 6. By God, I'm going to make you use them soon. I promise. And I'm at 7.
Start using them like crazy here soon.
Oh, yeah. Things are going to, you're only now into the weird spot of this Weird West tale. So
options are for choosing, since you got the joker, a either a great story or a victory or personal triumph, or a tale of the hero's greatest love, lost, found, present, or waiting, or something you want or already have. It might be a material possession, recognition, a goal, or even a trip you want to take, or a tale of misfortune from your past, perhaps revealing something like a secret or the source of one of your hindrances.
Indeed. And specifically, Trapper has to tell a story about great desire.
Mine says something your hero wants or already has. It must be a material possession, recognition, political goal. Diamond.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you can choose which order to go in, I suppose.
My bow is my favorite bow. I have had my bow for 13 years. I have hunted and killed on all lands with this bow. Even in the army, when they all used rifles, I used the bow. I do not like rifles. They are loud. Bows are quiet. Bows are perfect. Bows take skill to use. And bows never smell bad or stop working when you get them wet. I like bows very, very much. And this is my favorite bow. I might one day own another bow, but I will still have this as my favorite bow.
Take a Benny, James.
No matter how many times you hear it, it gets you right here every time.
So, James, you're up to 7.
And do you know what he named that bow? He named it My Bow.
Are you talking to the skull of this wolf snake? Or are you talking to the horses? Because those are your two options right now.
Oh,
yeah. Also, for reference, you don't have to partake in the interlude, but if you do, you get a Benny. And there will be course to use them.
My former job was as an advocate, which is a mix between a professional duelist and a barrister. My job was to mediate legal duels between people and set the terms and perhaps fight on behalf. I have been currently, formally, that is, disgraced as I breached the terms of a contract due to some fancy wording by a fancy gentleman. I am no longer allowed to practice in my home city, and decided to start a courier service because I could afford the license.
Ain't that the damn truth? We got a little backstory. Take a Benny. We're all 3 of us are at 7. So, as the night begins to wind down and you have eaten your wolf snake, which is not bad, you know, it's good. It would be good stew meat. You figured out after this little experimentation. That would be your guess. It'd be very good stew meat.
Nice.
So as the night starts to wind down, turning in for bed starts to make a little bit of sense. So, are you both turning in? Are you doing some sort of watch situation? Because everybody in a tabletop does watches.
Yeah, I let Crow sleep for a while first, and I stay on watch for a few hours before I wake him up. And usually when we're traveling, I start watch, then He wakes up and does a few hours of watch. Then he wakes me up and I do the morning watch.
Really? That's fucking terrible of me.
And then by the time he wakes up, camp's already broken down and ready to go.
I can't believe that still works after all these years.
It's what they made Trapper do in the army, so it's just second nature for him. He doesn't know that there's another way of doing watch, or that things should be more, fair or equitable.
And I feel it would
Right.
be just mean to tell him at this point.
Beautiful. So, for first watch, we've got a Trapper. Would you be so kind as to make me a notice roll?
Yeah, and when Trapper does his watches, he goes about 15 feet away from the campsite and conceals himself in the dark.
So do you intend to keep a campfire going through the night?
Down to
No,
coals.
once we're done cooking and it's
You let
bedtime,
it burn down to coals.
fire goes out.
Okay, cool. Just curious.
Because luck lies me on that one, I'm going to have a 17 on that first roll there. Nothing is getting by me on my first watch.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I'll give it. I'll try, just for fun. Let's see, and then that. Nope. So you, Trapper, notice on your first watch as the sun starts to go down over just a little hill to your south. Just the very slight, as the fire begins to burn down, the very slight glow of eyes. A reasonable amount of eyes. At least 6 pairs. All poking up above this hill, ridgelining themselves just a little bit for fun. It's dark.
Interesting. Between myself and the horses, I think we'll be all right. I'm used to seeing a lot of wild animals out. I don't think it's anything too terrible to note unless they decide to get close to camp.
As you sit there and watch and consider for a moment, they start to get a little bit closer and pour up and over. And you can see now that they're no longer up at the top. It's probably 6 total pairs of eyes, and one seems to be larger. As they come up over the hill under the starlight, you can tell that one of them is definitively bigger, and they look quadrupedal. Probably wolves would be your guess. Real ones, not the weird wolf snake that you skinned and ate.
In fact, wolves are our guests.
Well, it might just be curious, so I'm going to see if they close to within 100 yards or so before I bother waking up Crow. No sense in waking them up for curious animals.
Yeah. They get closer and closer until they stand about 60 feet away from the campsite.
Yeah, if they break 100 yards, I'm going to have to wake up Crow because real wild animals aren't going to get that close.
Yeah, they're slowly approaching, and they seem to be. You get the feeling with that notice check that they are aware that you were aware of them.
Hmm.
And they get closer, and they do definitely break 100 yards easily.
All right. If they get anything closer than about 60 feet, I'm going to have to shoot one of them.
They do actually stop at around 60 feet, just for a little while. And
Yep.
sit and
I'm going to have to shoot one of them. I just want to drive them off. I'm hoping that this is enough to scare it off.
Absolutely. Are you aiming for the big one, or are you aiming for one of the littler ones?
Yeah, I want to aim for the big one because if I scare off the big one, the little ones will follow.
Makes sense.
All right. For a shooting test, that is going to be an 8 with my trademark weapon.
8. Since you are in lower light conditions, you are going to get the -1 or the -2, but that's still going to be enough to hit. So you shoot your arrow towards the big one. It stinks in it. It is considered, stunned, mechanically speaking. It is shaken.
Oh, that's not damage. That's just the attack roll.
Oh, excuse me. Right, yeah. You get it. You haven't done damage yet. You don't get your bonus damage. What am I doing?
We are looking at 12 for the damage done by the longbow with armor piercing 1.
Indeed. There we go.
I already woke up Crow when they got within 100 yards. I'm not really worried about that.
That is going to be a hit and a raise on the big one. So you sink the arrow. It goes straight in around the shoulder.
I make a stealth roll to put on my boots.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You know what? Make your stealth boots.
I like to put them on quietly. I'm not trying to draw a lot of attention to the guy laying down on the ground. All right.
That's of course.
That's about.
Get out of here! Shoo!
The top is a. Oh, that's a 2. It's a 2. I got a 2. I fail my stealth roll.
You got 7 bennies. You can go ahead and use one. Re-roll that.
You have the power.
I
mean, if you don't want to get noticed waking up putting on the boots.
That's fair. I'm doing it. I don't want to get noticed. So.
And we got 7 of them. So.
You have 7 of them. And then reroll.
Now I only have 6 of them, but I rolled an 11.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let me double check what I am working with. It's gonna be that one's gonna blow up, but it's only gonna blow up to a 9, and I'll do it for the little ones. That one's also gonna blow up, but that's only gonna blow up to a 7. So good thing you rolled that well, because these things seem to be on top of it at the moment.
Ninja boot, put her on her.
Ninja boot. So you shoot this thing. It howls. Not like a wolf, necessarily. Something a bit more like just a little bit more like a person screaming.
That's not a wolf.
Yeah. It's, it's it has a lot of bass to it, but it is a much higher pitched screech coming out of this thing's maw. And I'm going to go on record and say that I believe that we should all do some fancy business and quite possibly draw initiative cards again.
You do have a draw 2 available if you do not like your initiative card, sir.
There is a draw 2, yes. And if you still don't like it, you can spend your twice as expensive Benny for it. You got the Joker again. That's a king again for Crow.
I'm taking that Joker and keeping it.
The Jokers. I also got a Joker again. Jesus Christ, what is up with this thing?
Exact same cards.
Yeah, these are the exact
drawn in a different order though. And then the little ones got a queen. This is so. All right, I'm gonna redo it just because I'm curious to see if it's gonna show up the same and if we're using a bad thing. All right, so Trapper, go first.
See if it does the same thing?
Yeah, because we'd have to shuffle after this round anyway. That's different. You got a queen. The Jokers are all at the top. All right, that's a king for the big dog.
Yeah, Joker's coming up on top.
Yeah, I'm going to... we can leave them or we can switch back to the last ones. It's pretty much a toss-up.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yep. Doesn't make a difference.
Leave it. So leave it goes red first. So this makes sense because the big one is currently a little bit stunted. So as this shot flies in and hits the big one, these various quadrupedal canid-like forms start to blast towards you, and it's still a bit too dark to make out any defining features, but you do notice whipping cat-like tails sticking almost straight up until they start to sprint directly towards you. And the tops flicking back and forth until they bolt. So, a few things are going to happen. The first thing that's going to happen is since they have no idea that, our friend Crow is awake, they're all going to attempt to bum rush into Trapper. And this is, bunch of little minions. And they are all going to attempt to get on in there. So, Trapper, this is the important question. Let's see. 4, 5. What is your parry? I'm curious. 7. So we got... Oops, that's 1 raise. And that is the only one that hit you. The only one that hit you was able to raise. And it is going to go in and it's going to do big kid damage. It would be ignoring armor with this raise based on its stat block, but so keep that aware for your toughness.
No worries.
It's going to do some damage. Where is that? That's where that number is. I'm going to drop that off the top of the thing. I'm going to assume that 3 isn't going to break your toughness because I rolled dog ass on the thing. Wait, excuse me. No, 5 isn't going to break your toughness.
That won't either.
Great, yeah. These things all start to break up and lunge at you as they come back together, and you can see these large, smiling, lipless wolf-like creatures with long, pointy ears, much longer than actual wolf's ears, and these weird, flicking tails pointing up from the back. And they are just screeching at you as they go to bite at you, and you reel back and turn as this probably 100-pound animal jumps at you, and you dodge 4 of them with no trouble. 1 grabs onto your shin, but it just gets in there and holds. It doesn't seem to have ruptured anything important other than poking into the meat. So, next on the roll, unless you would like to use your thing to go right now, is going to be the big dog. So, Crow, you can go now if you would like to, or you can interrupt since you have the Joker.
I'm going to probably interrupt the big dog.
Great. I love it. So the big dog.
He's going to be going for Trapper as well?
Yes, the big dog will also be going for Trapper.
And I kind of want to, intercept him. Like, he's coming this way, and I go, boom!
Yeah, he's going to start his movement, start bull rushing towards Trapper. This one, as you can see, as it gets closer to you and your sort of night eyes start to adjust as you wake up, does seem to have weird, fiendish horns poking up out of its head, like a bull's horns. And it is...
I'm going to grab onto those after I spear into him.
Great. It looks like it's probably around 5 foot high at the shoulder.
Yeah, big dude.
Big old dude. So, you're going to spear into him, you say?
Yep, I'm just going to run into him shoulder first, running as fast as I can out of the night while he's focused on something else, and hope it clocks him real good.
Great. Go ahead and make me that fighting check for beating him up, and get a +2 since you have that beautiful, beautiful Joker.
Oh, okay then. I will. Thank you.
And you must.
Okay. Baby. 21.
Well, thankfully, only 1 raise on an attack matters, but you more than clear it. So you will have that raise. So if you're trying to do damage, you will do an additional die 6 of damage.
Okay, yes. I am trying to do damage because that would be silly.
It'd be silly not to, wouldn't it?
Why would I not do damage? That doesn't make any sense. Does damage dice explodes?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Because I'm rolling a bunch of dice here, and I'm like, wow. I hope these damage dice explodes.
One of the game baking tricks is to take weapons that roll several dice, even if they're lower dice for damage, because
I don't know if I can actually show this to you on my dice tray, but now it's not going to work without me breaking
Almost.
the camera off. Damn it! It's so cool. So I rolled a 10 and 2d6, and I got a 5, a 6, and a 10.
Okay, so 2 of those are going to explode, and we're currently at 21.
21, and the 6 rolled a 6 again. So 21 plus 12 is 33 plus 2. So 35. 35.
You know,
Probably a few raises.
you can only make one soak roll at a time, so I'm not going to use my Benny yet, because that wouldn't be worth it, because I wouldn't be able to stop you from absolutely destroying this thing with your shoulder.
That's like Rift's damage. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that was wild. All right, that was great.
That's not normal.
No.
So you know, what just happened? Not normal.
Not normal. So you go in, you spear this thing with your shoulder, and you just hear several sharp cracks.
I'm going to knock its head off its body, so I'm not worried about like trying to break that sucker's neck.
Well, you don't knock the head off, but the neck is definitively broken. Seems like you did it so good. You did it so good that he died.
For the rest of my movement action, I would like to whistle very loudly.
Yeah, that's a free. You whistle super loudly. All of the weird devil dogs look towards you and
Oi!
And they go back to trying to fight Trapper. Hey Trapper.
Yep.
It's your turn now.
I am going to be using my spear rather than my bow because they have close to close combat.
Yeah, they are up on you, jumping at you, trying to rip you apart with their many teeth.
I have 8 bennies I can use. I'm going to go ahead and max out my multi-action and make 3 hand-to-hand attacks against these things and be prepared to burn some bennies for some re-rolls because I've got them and I can spare them.
Yeah, and if you don't, things could go poorly because I also have a ton of bennies, so that's a lot of re-rolling attacks.
So I'm just trying to change the game. Well, that first one, even with the penalty of 4, is still going to be a 18.
Yeah, that's gonna hit and raise. No, I'm looking at my book, and it says that that's a big number.
All right, second one. I'm going to burn a Benny to re-roll.
Okay.
Second one is still going to be a 7 with the penalty.
That is going to hit, but not raise.
Third one, I'm going to burn a Benny and get a re-roll.
Sounds good. That's what they're for, you know? I make good use of them.
I'm basically re-rolling anytime the dice don't explode for behind the curtain.
Yeah, of course.
And I've got a 19 on the third one with exploding.
That's gonna hit and re-roll and raise multiple times, but only the one matters. So that is 3 hits, 2 of which have raises.
All right, I am rolling damage on those with the. I'm going to do the 2 with raises first to get them out of the way.
2 right.
All right, raise damage number 1 is going to be 14 for damage.
Yeah, that is going to hit and raise past the toughness. So this mook is taken straight out. Stab him right in the chest.
The next one with raise is going to be a 12.
That is going to hit and raise. So that is going to shake and injure. So that is going to take out a second one of the mook dogs.
And the non-raised hit with just the D8 plus the D6 is going to be a 10 damage on that one.
And that is going to hit and do just enough for a raise. So you took out 3 of the 5 little ones, which are still not small, about 4 foot at the shoulder. The big one was about 6 at the shoulder.
It's my superior spear fighting technique.
Yeah, superior spear fighting technique. Things are looking a little bad for the weird devil dogs. So they are going to go ahead and do some things. But first we have to shuffle and do initiative again. So
who knows?
big dog's dead. That's a joker for the little dogs.
Redraw.
Yeah.
All right, there's some weird... Is everything in... It's not quite in order, but it's almost in order.
Yeah.
What the hell? That is in order. Hold on.
I do not think that this card app you have is accurate to a real deck of cards.
That's bad. I got my backup cards, though.
Okay, I was going to say I have the Savage World cards on hand.
You can do it if you'd like to deal. Yeah. I will leave it up to you. If you would enjoy dealing, go ahead and do it.
All right.
I'm just, when a button says shuffle deck, you assume that the deck will be shuffled.
Shuffled, but no.
First card will be for who?
First card is going to be for you, since you're dealing yourself. That is off to your left. There we go.
Eight spades.
The 8 of spades is for me. I've got that played out. Second card in the deck is for who?
Put that for Crow.
8 of diamonds.
Keep
in mind, there is that draw 2 still. So if you don't like your card, you can redraw the third card.
Indeed.
It's going to be a 5.
Be a 5. I'm going to use one of my Game Master bennies to redraw for the dogs.
Okay, then we'll see what he gets, and then we'll redraw maybe. He got a joker.
That's a joker. I'm going to keep that.
Yeah, redraw 2 then.
All right, one redraw for yourself.
It's a 2.
Yep, so the 8's still better. There's you can use more than one Benny to keep redrawing if you want to spend more than one. And there's the draw 2, so you can use the draw 2 also.
I can't beat a joker no matter what I do unless I draw another joker. I'm not going to waste a. I'm not going to waste.
I want to use the draw 2 anyway, just in case.
Yeah.
Worth it? No. But
nope.
Yeah,
that is a jack.
You still get to go before me.
If I'm still alive.
Can't be the joker. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Nope. Can't be the joker.
And the dogs are going to go first. And they...
All 2 of them?
All 2 of them are going to try and run away in the middle of the night.
They got to get by me.
They have to get by you, I suppose. That is the way they came from, so I'll give you that they're going to go in your direction. They're heading that way. They make it out to you, and unless you want to do something about it, we'll make it past.
If they move through my area or around where I can get them, I'm going to whack them. What's that?
That was his joker.
That was the joker. Well, yeah, it's going to pass on down. Which one of the 2 of you is next, Trapper?
Trapper would be next. If they are going to flee, Trapper doesn't shoot things that are running away. It's just not what he does.
It's just rude. Makes sense. So that's Trapper's turn. Crow, you're up.
If they're not coming right by me, I'm not going to take shots at them, and I don't have anything I can attack them with from range.
That's
so
fair.
I'm dragging Big Boy back to camp.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds very good. You killed their boss with 1 shoulder charge, so they're not going to screw with you.
Fair enough.
You have the big one, and you start to drag it back towards camp.
You see.
Yeah. And you have these,
this just in case we need to use it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it ready.
Yeah, once I've dragged all the bodies into a pile for later skinning, because I don't imagine we want to eat the meat of these, right?
I don't think so. Usually I avoid eating dogs.
Right. No dogs, no horses. It's just no dogs, no horses, no people.
But horses if you're really hungry, but
yeah, I don't know.
We ate a lot of horse in the army.
Right.
Horses die when you're in the cavalry. Horses die all the time when you're in the cavalry.
Yes, they do.
But like that horse was my partner, right? Would I
Not
eat?
the same. Yep.
Oh no.
It's one of the reasons Cisco bites.
Yeah. Well,
Because the
Susan-
horse would also eat the horse's partner. You know, it's a give take relationship. You know,
Susan
Cisco would eat you if you died.
It's the circle of life.
Susan even bites me. Only one Susan doesn't bite is you.
That's the damn truth. So the two of you pull them back to camp.
However, we
And-
sleep the rest of the night before we wake up and get to skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just finish off a watch and let Crow get a little bit more sleep before I wake him up to take over, and then he wakes me back up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in true fact, my good friend, my good friend Trapper. Sorry, I have to pull up the thing again to make sure I'm thinking of the right one. Come on. There we go. Nope, a little off. Excuse me. I've got to finding the this thing list. There we go. Ba-ba-bow. Trapper, I do need you to make me a spirit roll.
A spirit roll. All right.
Yeah, this is a thing, and I'm gonna let you know if you have any strange special abilities that let you resist sleep type effects or anything like that. Then that would come into play. I don't know how your character is built.
Only when it involves vigor rather than spirit.
No, this is definitely a spirit type thing.
Ha! Still going to be an 8.
Still going to be an 8. That's more than enough to do it. You notice yourself start to get groggy, and the two dog creatures that ran off come back over the ridge, and it is just the two of them, and they look at you and cock their heads and put one paw forward very slowly.
Get out of here.
And they, they hear you, they acknowledge you, and they start to step forward very slowly and make little yelps that also sound a little bit uncomfortably like human screams.
How far away is that ridge?
Oh, probably around 300 feet.
You can hit that in your sleep.
And that's the edge of long range for me.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
What the hell? If they won't go away after me shooing them,
I'm not looking. You can
if they
see.
won't go, if they won't go away after I shoot them, I'm going to have to shoot at one of them. Particularly the one that did the little paw goofy trick. Get out of here!
Excuse me.
Even at extreme range, that's still going to be a 4.
And that's gonna be enough to connect.
No raise.
Yeah, the sun is just barely starting to rise a little bit as this is happening. This is a lot of times.
12 damage from the arrow shot.
Yeah, you shoot that one, it instantly drops. The other one just bolts.
Just the other way I pointed, Joe. That was good, Joe.
Joe,
I'm out.
Damn things.
Yeah. Thing runs off. And the rest of your part of the watch goes uneventfully. Presumably you go to get Crow back up.
Yep. I wake Crow up. I let him know. Stupid
All
thing
right.
came back. I just shoot them.
I'll go get it. before we switch all the way, I go and back and I drag the corpse back, throw it on the pile.
Yeah, of course. As you're going to do that, I'm gonna roll a. If I can find a damn die 4, which I can't, I'm gonna
I've
Google
got
it.
2 here.
Yeah, you roll a die 4. You do it.
I'm doing it. Tell me what you need. Low or high, bud?
All right, I just want to know what the number is.
It's 2.
2. Okay. It's been about 2 hours since you shot that thing as your watch was continuing to go forward. So as you go up to go find it, you see not the corpse, but off in the distance, what looks like the other one dragging the corpse with the arrow sticking out of it. Just dragging it off. Some couple 100 feet away at this point.
Well, I mean, I suppose that makes a bit of sense. Yeah, I better go kill that. Before it goes back and tells its friends and we're tracked by an entire pack of these things. I'm gonna... I give the whistle.
You know the whistle. He's gonna go kill it.
I know it's going to take a minute, so I'm going to saddle up the horses while he's pursuing.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm not even...
I go try and be as stealthy as I can.
Yeah, roll to sneak up on it. I'll roll you a notice to see if it notices.
Ooh, this might be good.
Oh shit, mine blew up.
So did mine, but it was my 4 that blew up.
That's fair. I got a
But
9.
I got a
on the
9.
notice.
Oh!
Ooh!
Ooh!
So, yeah. I'm gonna give that to you since it's still not quite dawn. Like the sun is rising, so it's still a bit darker, and it's distracted with its muzzle down, stuck on the scruff of its dead friend. So I'm gonna give that to you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're able to get up closer to it.
Benny, so
It's true. It's too late now. What are you gonna do?
oh, now that I've snuck up on it, I'm gonna take it to the ground and beat it to death.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Beat its ass, as it were. Give me the fighting roll. You will get a bonus to this. It will be a +4 because that's what the rules tell me in my book, since it is completely unaware of everything that's going on.
Great. So with my martial arts, that's a total of +5.
Great. Yeah. It's got its nose stuck in its stinky wild animal friend. So
is a 10 gonna do it with
a 10
raise?
a 10 will connect. Yeah, definitely.
Will a 10 give me a raise?
Yes, it will give you a raise on the little one.
All right. Then I'm taking it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get your big kid damage with the extra die 6.
Oh, because it's a raise, yes.
I'm gonna make you work for these 1-punch kills,
Yeah. I totally
I'm
get
gonna make
it.
you roll all the dice.
That's okay. I built them around the 1-punch kills, so okay, so I rolled that's 12, that's 2, that's 14 damage.
14 damage is going to be more than enough to kill it in 1 punch. Your form wasn't as ridiculously clean as it was on the big one, but it's enough. You punched the ribs in such a way that by happenstance...
Saitama Crow.
Yeah. Rib cracked and then punctured the lung and then punctured the heart. It was the perfect strike.
Yeah.
And you killed it as the other one was being drug off.
It's Odysseus Saitama Crow.
Nice.
I'm sorry, let me check in the yeah, I believe it. Odysseus Saitama Crow returns. Are you bringing the bodies back to camp with you?
Yeah, I'm just
Oh, at this point, yeah, it's dawn, so we're going to be I'm gonna let him scan while I take a nap, and then we'll ride for a while, and then nap more in midday when it's hot out.
Great, yeah. So you all have the bodies
Mhm.
and put them together, break down camp, pack everything back up on your horses, and begin to ride away, presumably.
Beautiful.
Both of you will now have to give me notice checks, and this will be at a -4 for reasons that I'm not telling you because I don't have to.
Underground or invisible or something, right?
Yeah.
Come on, wild die. All right. Yeah.
You know, just to see if I do better on the second one, I'm going to use one of my 5 remaining bennies to re-roll that notice check. Because that one
Yeah.
really sucked.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. This is a difficult one.
Now, that one really sucked. Like, that would have been a negative number with a -4.
No, not allowed.
Now with the -4, I got a 6.
You got a 6, so that's gonna be a success.
With the -4, I got a 12 on that one. Thank you
Hell
for those
yeah.
bennies.
It's gonna be a success and 2 raises. Thank you for those bennies. We are using them.
Yep. Use that right there. Trapper showing his keen sense of awareness.
Damn right.
That's literally like, I don't think I could roll better than what I rolled. I rolled a 10 and I have a D4. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I got that 6. I'm keeping that 6.
Keep that 6. That was killer. So the two of you both look back, in the midst of your very light conversation about the weird wolf attack that happened. Strange ecology in this region. You've been around a bit, but ain't seen anything like this before.
Yeah,
and you both notice as
never
you
used the word ecology. That's like way more syllables than he ever uses.
weird dogs. Fur snake?
Yep, fur snake, weird dog.
Yeah, so you both look back and you notice that not only is the pile of the weird night wolves gone, and then you just acknowledge, okay, that's weird. Whatever, there was a chimpanzee. As you look back forward and are going to do your role-playing thing in a moment, specifically, you, Crow, notice what looks like a horned hound skull attached to the tack on the hip of Crow's horse. And it looks to be about the right size for the big alpha hound skull with the horns that was, killed last night.
So it took all of the corpses of all of its fallen comrades, but left me with the trophy of its leader's head?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you put that skull on there. I kind of assumed you didn't because you didn't message it or mention it, but now the skull is on your horse, and you don't actively notice it because, it's looking down and behind at the horse's hip on top of all of the other stuff that you have on the barding for this beast.
Mm-hmm.
But Trapper notices it.
You got skull on. When did you get the skull?
What do you mean? Oh, look at that. Is it like cleaned and bleached? Like it's, I mean,
Yeah, it's perfect.
You're really good at that, Crow.
Oh, I didn't do it, mate. Wasn't me.
Did I do it?
No, you slept like a rock.
Oh,
Big snoring rock.
oh.
I think it's a gift. I mean, right? Like a trophy, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, maybe don't fuck with these guys because they'll kill everyone you know.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
So do you
We accept.
do you look at the skull, Crow, after being told
absolutely.
that it is there?
Yeah. I definitely look at it.
You look back at it. If I may be so bold, you possibly stop your horses, hop off, and take a look at it properly. And as you look into it, you feel your own gaze drawn straight into the eye sockets, which seem, curiously dark for where the position of the sun is right now. And you just get this deep, profound feeling of respect in the back of your skull, somewhere in your lizard brain.
I have no idea what that means.
You don't get anything off of it, Trapper, other than that's a pretty cool skull. I don't know. It's like a big dog skull, but it's also got bull horns.
This probably means that they're not going to mess with us. It's a gift. We did good. Knocked out an alpha. I guess it's hard. Don't tell them that. Well, this should probably keep them from hitting us the rest of the trip. At least them.
Weird dogs.
No. Good boys. Good boys. Smart. Care for their own. I don't appreciate that.
Just get more. Yeah, you just get more respect off of the hound skull.
Good boys indeed.
We'll ride to about midday and then take a 4-hour nap in midday.
Absolutely.
I'll leave them a ration of our meat too, where our camp was.
Yeah. You look back a little while after moving away, a couple 100 yards, far enough away that, you've been not looking at it for a minute, but would still be able to see it in theory. And you look back and it is gone.
Good boys.
Good boys. So you ride for a little while longer, back until around midday. I'm going to assume that you got up, as a group a little bit after dawn. That was when both of you rose. Cool. So say this time of year, around 6 makes sense? This time of fictional year?
Yes, in this fictional world. Absolutely.
In this fictional world with these weird fictional dogs and also a monkey.
26 hours in this day. We don't know why.
We're going with the 24-hour day, 365 and change hour year to keep things simple.
13 o'clock.
We're in the dry season in scrub brush, so that's probably summer. So there's probably quite a bit of sunlight. We can easily ride till noon, take 4 hours to rest, and then ride until about 9 o'clock at night.
And I can make use of my only piece of equipment that isn't made for cooking, which is a parasol or an umbrella.
Yes, you have the parasol and you have...
Keep the sun off my stupid face.
You know what? That is actually going to be very helpful. Because since you did that, I'm not going to need you to make it, but I am going to need Trapper to make a vigor roll. Based on the fact that he is in the beating scrubland sun.
Is this against an environmental hazard?
Yes, it is. It's the sun.
Awesome. Well, my soldier edge comes into play against this.
Yes, it does.
I can roll twice and take the best result.
Hell yeah. Take advantage on that.
I'm probably going to take that 9.
Oh, yeah.
Or that 8. I'm going to take the 9.
Take the 9. Yeah, that's a success with a raise. Because of your parasol and the fact that you have marched through far worse than this.
Yes.
Not kidding the fact that you're on a horse.
Just like that you're doing a horse marching and just enduring the elements while I lazily sit side saddle with my wolf skull on with a little umbrella.
With the wolf skull, which is just giving you very good vibes, to be honest.
Crow, does your canteen have a straw? What do you mean?
Meanwhile, Trapper's drinking out of a water skin.
We are gonna hand wave the horses unless it is dramatically appropriate for me to kill your horses.
Oh, that's why I was taking the 4-hour nap at noon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The horses have 4 hours without being ridden.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that you both know how to take care of your horses, how to ride them properly in this kind of weather. And, especially since you're taking this rest, you'll be
Riding
good.
is one of the only things I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
not
Trapper
really-
knows what to do with the horses.
But
Yep.
not as good as Trapper.
We both are a fair hand at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's so much better.
Yeah.
He's so much better.
So as you begin to look for a place that seems like maybe a bit of shade, closer to one of the taller trees or something, somewhere with
Yep.
good wood,
Most of those are shade for the horses.
you notice off in the distance a small bunch of what looks like actually reasonably sized trees. And just a little bit less of a miasma coming off of the ground in that direction.
Can turn the horses that way.
Absolutely. It's not backwards. You're still going generally forwards if you check the compass that you were given. Going off, a little bit south to hit it, but not too far out of the way. Probably about a mile distant. As you get closer and closer, because I'm just kind of assuming the Trapper has hawk eyes.
Yeah, I'm assuming that too, even if he doesn't.
Yeah. So you get closer and closer, and you find yourselves
It fits
approaching a proper watering hole. There are real trees, real berry bushes, a large group of, things that you as, cowboys had heard about as, postal people in a pseudo-Western setting. You have heard of a jackalope. You always assumed that either they weren't in this part of the country or they didn't exist. But you'll be damned if there ain't just a large group of jackalope hanging out by that watering hole, just snurfling. Little bunny rabbits with big old antlers for their size. Just
Are they little bunny rabbits or are they like jackrabbit big?
some of them are little, but a lot of them, are jackrabbit big. Everything else you've seen so far has been uncharacteristically big, as far as the weird devil dogs and also the dog snake.
Because I will be perfectly honest, Traps. I wouldn't mind a brace of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I pulled the horse to a stop. I'm gonna go ahead and get us some dinner.
Yeah. As you, approach, you can go ahead and roll stealth if you'd like to make them not worried about you. They're going to notice you in this light at the watering hole, but you can roll it to be
sneak
chill.
up on them before I shoot at them. Stealth is going to be an 11.
Yeah, they're totally non-perturbed as you approach them. Some of them stop, look at you for a moment, and then go right back to snarfing up that water.
Trap. Make sure they're not the talking kind.
Do you talk?
They stop and look at you for a moment, and then go straight back to the water.
Okay.
Now they seem too stupid to kill.
I'm going to go ahead and peg two of them with arrows.
Make those attacks.
Do you knock them both at the same time and let them?
That's I'm going to let the our game master decide what the multi-action penalty works for. Because Trapper totally shoots two arrows at once.
There was a ton of fletching off of one side of one of the arrows, so it flies off to the side and kills the other one.
Oh yeah, I mean you've been doing this for long enough. You probably have like a weird extra strength bow because I assume that you're pretty ripped.
Yes.
So like it's got like a stupid draw weight for the size of the arrows that you're actually using it with. So you can get away with shooting two at once.
So with my multi-action penalty, I have a 5 and a 15 for my shooting tests.
You don't even have to roll damage. They're rabbits with antlers. You knock two of them, and then the entire group sort of, takes notice, scampers off.
It's like you're good. Meanwhile, I come up from behind the group of rabbits where you were shooting.
Got a couple of jackalopes.
I'm gonna see to the horses, make sure that they're hitched up near the water.
Yeah, absolutely. They're hitched up near the water. You drive a tent stake or a piton or something like that, loop it easily enough. There's a handful of trees.
Yeah, I generally let Susan run as free as she wants around here because she doesn't, she won't go far. She likes Trapper too much.
Cisco tends to wander, so I generally hitch him up at night. But as long as Susan's around, Cisco will stay close to Susan.
Yeah, absolutely. The horses. We could, after we finish this, we could do like a whole side thing where you play the horses. Would be great. That'd be a good radio show. So you settle down and start to do your midway break. Finally under shade for the first time that you haven't brought with you in, the last day and a half of travel.
This
It's
is nice.
refreshing. The water smells clean. You do notice, as you set for a while, a handful more of the devil dogs and start to show up and look. They're on the opposite side of the watering hole. They're looking at you and they're walking totally gingerly toward the water.
I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes after we stopped, I went to sleep.
Yeah. I would just give this to Trapper. You would know that, in the real world, on the Earth that we actually live in, there's a lot of shared space between various species of predators and prey at watering holes because it's such a scarce resource that, much more big problems. So this is a place of peace and respite. But after about 2 hours into your 4-hour break, you notice a humanoid figure. You can't make any details, color, garb, what they're carrying. They seem to be carrying something. Just pops up over the horizon somewhere to your north and is seeming to be coming in this direction.
Trapper is snoring at this point.
Yeah, you're asleep.
Hey. Hey, we need to dig. Start digging.
Dig.
Dig.
Okay, you start digging. Why are you digging? What is your goal here? Are you making foxholes? I know Trapper was in the army.
They're too far away to see, right? To make out.
Yeah, they probably don't notice you because there is a small ridge behind you.
Finish our respite here, and so we are going to make sure that box is buried while we are here.
I think that's very smart. I'm gonna.
It's only a 2 foot. I think we can manage it.
I can dig it down pretty quick, and then I can just go to sleep on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. You get that dealt with, no trouble at all. Not gonna make you roll for it or anything. I have a question before we continue and things start to happen. How late do we want to go tonight? Because I didn't ask that before.
Actually, we've been already hitting.
Great, yeah, makes a lot of sense.
We are after 9 o'clock.
Cool.
I
So
just don't give up all of those bennies, those beautiful, beautiful bennies.
yeah, I'm thinking actually specifically for this, the way that we are doing it and the amount of bennies that we've been getting, especially with the new session, every time you draw a Joker, other things like that. I think that we are going to maintain bennies through sessions, but you're going to get 1 benny at the top of every session other than the first, where I gave you both 3, of course.
All right, sounds good.
So at the top of next session, we're all going to get 1 benny. So feel free to write that down for yourselves. I am trusting you to keep track of your own bennies.
Yeah. Not a problem.
We accomplished a lot today, so both of you can mark 3 experience.
All right.
It's mostly because neither of us is really inquisitive enough to go after a mystery or ask a lot of questions about what we're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean you're doing your jobs so good.
Hardest characters that ever done lived.
No, we are not.
We might be the two right characters for the job.
It's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
So I think,
this is great.
yeah, we'll pick this up next week. Yes.
Yeah. So we got 4 or 5 weeks of this.
Yeah, I can happily take it to 5, but if we need it to be a little shorter, I can work with that.
No,
I had planned for 4 or 5 of this.
Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. We're going to get 4 or 5 weeks of Savage Worlds of the Adventures of Crow and Trapper.
Things will get weirder.
Trapper
and Crow, please.
That's the business.
That's the name of the business.
The business is Trapper and Crow.
Yeah, you don't understand. You came up with the name Trapper this morning, and I've been thinking Trapper and all day, coming up with different names, and I finally came up with Odysseus Crow, who has the magical superpower of Brad Pitt in Snatch.
Yeah, which is he's
Trapper
the best character in Snatch.
Trapper isn't even his name. He just is kind of a simpleton. And when he joined the army, he joined from living out in the frontier as like a wild man with his old man. And so they all just called him Trapper because that's what he did before he joined the army. He was a trapper. And it's just been his name ever since.
Yeah, no,
He doesn't even remember his real name.
Brad Pitt in Snatch was basically One Punch Man.
Yeah,
That
that
was his job.
the pikey covered in terrible tattoos and a boxer, and it's so good. Accent too thick.
Right, and I wasn't going to go with the.
No, of course, because this is an audio medium, so we do
Right.
have to maintain that. There are only 3 of us. If there were like 6 of us, maybe.
For hours, I would probably literally have to drink through it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Now, in a home game, maybe.
Oh no, for sure in a home game.
Oh, yeah. Dornish. That's all I got to say about that. Dornish.
Yeah, the problem with that particular accent is it lends itself so easily to like really bad swearing of every type that I just don't. I don't think I can maintain it on stream with any kind of authenticity.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I want to thank you all for joining us here on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel on Twitch and tuning in to our lovely Courier stream run by our host and GM, Ethan Bugeaud. You can catch him here on Fridays.
Great to be here.
Me and James never get to play together, so this is a really big treat for us.
Yes, it is. It's really fun. Christian and I never really get to play together. It's nice.
Yeah. And I also love playing with both of these people, so I'm happy to be here to officiate letting you two play together.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. These are the kind of characters I think we like to play when we're in the same kind of group too. Is the characters that really play off of each other, in terms of what they do. I think it's.
We almost always, in one fashion or another, play 2 people that could be in some form of buddy cop film.
Yeah, no, and I think I just do it subconsciously. If I know you're playing, it's like, okay, how am I going to be James' partner?
Oh yeah, I got somebody I do that too. It's, you have to find a partner for this kind of things. It's the purest kind of partnership.
It is, and no matter what we're doing, whether it's Tommy and Ronnie Stacks or
the Professor and Treadstone.
The Professor and Treadstone, yeah.
I dig those guys too.
Quint and the guy. It's just
Quint and the guy, man.
Yeah, you're always on top of it.
Quint and the Bronan and the guy.
Yeah, Bronan and the guy.
Those guys wreck ass.
But yeah, we've got streams almost every day of the week here on Zoe, guys. You can't miss out. We've got Void Jumpers has been going on. It's going to be its 3rd episode coming up this next week.
That's going to be on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Monday is Metaverse. Tuesday is Dead Gentleman Game Night with a next, and I think it's the final episode for this arc of Demon Hunters.
We've got Zoe Game Night on Thursdays, which pretty soon we're going to be able to be back in studio, guys. So
really excited about that. Can't wait to get home.
Get back to the games instead of doing the viewing parties, because they have so many games they want to show you on Zoe Game Night.
Mm-hmm.
They're really looking forward to it. And speaking of being back in studio, we will be back in studio for Metaverse pretty soon too. Or we are starting to open up again, and people are taking care of each other and being cautious and doing the right thing and getting the curve down. So things might slowly, if we are careful and cooperative and and make informed and intelligent decisions, go back to somewhat of a semblance of normalcy.
I'm looking forward to it. Not
Do
that I
your
don't-
part. I want to play with my friends again in the meat space. I like it that way more.
I still get to see James from time to time, which is nice.
It's good.
The no out of gown guests on stream, yes and no, because we've now opened up the ability that we can have one person remote in. So we will be able to remote in out of town guests and the like, so that we still won't be stuck with just the same people. We can remote people in, and we can remote people in who are in more difficult circumstances that make it prohibitive for them to be in a group for any time period, or if they're more vulnerable or the like. So it's still very, very possible to do that and feature all kinds of guests that way.
Yeah. Looking
Expect
forward to
to have
having our friends, maybe having some of you guys on at some point.
yes.
When do we get to play with Aaron Williams? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
That's the real question.
When do we turn right?
And is he GMing? Because yeah, and let's not forget about Larry Dixon. Gotta have Larry on.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
We've actually got kind of a cool idea for the game we want to run with Larry.
Yes, we do. We have a great idea for the game with Larry. That will be coming some point down here in the future. A lot of stuff got put on hold with the whole quarantine, guys. It really got us right in the knees right as we were about to launch so many
Oh,
things.
oh yeah.
Just got us all at once. There's a lot of stuff that's just waiting to take off again. So we will be back with more of it. Anyway, we love all you guys, and thank you so much for watching, contributing, and we will see you next time. Good night.
It's great to have you. See you next week. Have a good night.